यहाँ पे हम बात करते हैं टाटा सियरा वर्सेस its siblings, which means the Tata Curvv and of course Harrier. Now Tata Sierra इस सेगमेंट पे उतर रही है जहाँ पे टाटा मोटर्स का पहले कोई प्रोडक्ट नहीं था, even though Curvv technically is also a 4-meter plus SUV. मगर Sierra is going to be its proper Creta rival and it's going to be below the Harrier and above the Curvv. तो यहाँ पे let's talk about the difference between all of the three 4-meter plus SUVs. यहाँ पे फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द हैरियर एंड ऑफ कोर्स यहाँ पे वील टॉक अबाउट द सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ द सियरा एंड द कर्व इन बिटवीन. यहाँ पे फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द हैरियर विच इज इट्स प्रीमियम एसयूवी 5-seater. सफारी is of course its biggest SUV out there, but the Harrier sits on a different platform and is a much more premium SUV. Sierra से काफ़ी बड़ी है. In fact, Sierra की size is near similar to the Curvv, roughly 4.3 meters. So it's not as big as the Harrier. मगर Sierra is also based on the new platform which is also similar to the Tata Curvv, जहाँ पे 4-wheel drive का capability यहाँ पे है, which means the Sierra could be coming with 4-wheel drive capability even on the ICE platform, even though at the moment we do not think it will come. EV version would be coming most likely with all-wheel drive. मगर यहाँ पे हम बात करते हैं size wise, it is the Sierra that is roughly the same size as the Curvv and of course it is smaller than the Harrier. मगर कुछ detailing में देखेंगे, Sierra is the one that looks bigger, has the more tough boxy SUV look. यहाँ पे 19-inch wheels आपको मिलता है which is bigger than the one on the Curvv and that means it gives a lot of presence to the Sierra. Even though Curvv has its own sort of coupe-like SUV styling, Harrier has its own appeal, but the Sierra has a more tough SUV look thanks to the boxy styling. मगर सबसे बड़ा चेंज है इंटीरियर्स में, because yes, the Sierra debuts many new things that you have never seen on any Tata SUV. जैसे कि पहली बात, it's got a new center console design. यहाँ पे कोई floating console मिलता है, स्टोरेज स्पेस ज़्यादा है, कप होल्डर्स आपको मिलता है. It also debuts 3 headrests, which means it gets a middle headrest as well. A नया डोर पैड का डिज़ाइन, इट इज़ कम्प्लीटली न्यू प्रोडक्ट ग्राउंड अप, विच मीन्स इट इज़ मच मोर प्रैक्टिकल दैन द अदर 2 SUVs. और इंटीरियर ऑल्सो मच मोर प्रीमियम लुकिंग. यहाँ पे आपको टाटा सियर में काफ़ी सारे प्रीमियम फीचर्स आपको मिलेंगे. इट गेट्स 3 स्क्रीन. जी हाँ, ये फीचर आपको कर्व और हैरियर में भी नहीं मिलता. एंड इट गेट्स अ बिगर पैनोरामिक सनरूफ दैन इवन द हैरियर एंड द कर्व. तो इट गेट्स मेनी न्यू फीचर्स विच आर नॉट देयर on any of the 2 cars. Space wise अगर हम बात करेंगे, कर्व से तो ज़्यादा स्पेशियस है Sierra, मगर Sierra is of course not as spacious as the Harrier. अगर हम बात करेंगे इंजन ऑप्शंस में, यहाँ पे Harrier still has the bigger diesel engine, मगर इसका जो 1.5 टर्बो पेट्रोल है न्यू इंजन फैमिली से, that will be shared with the Sierra and Sierra could also be coming with a 1.5 natural aspirated unit. ये इंजन आपको कर्व में नहीं मिलता. कर्व gets a smaller 1.2 turbo petrol, which means that obviously in terms of power it is the Sierra which will have more power than the Curvv and of course less weight than the Harrier, which means the 1.5 turbo के साथ it is the Sierra that's going to be the more powerful amongst the 3 cars. So yes, there are some differences between the 3 cars, but it is the Sierra that one that gets all of the newest features and a lot more tech and many of the improvements that Tata Motors have done.